Welcome to this third tutorial on the design cycle, where we're going to take all these criteria that I've put here and copy and paste them into an empty word processing document to give us a structure to follow when we are writing our coursework. So over here I have one such document. I'm doing my screencast on a Linux computer, so I'm using LibreOffice, and their menus are a little bit different than what you're used to in Microsoft Word, but you will recognize what I'm doing. First, I've put my name and the date into a header. Then I've got the main title of my project, so let's format it with the standard title format. Next, I have introduction and plan, and these are the main chapters of my work, so I'm going to choose heading 1 for them. Inside my plan, well, plan and create, test and evaluation are main chapters as well, so let's make them heading 1. Now inside my plan I have several sub-chapters or several key paragraphs. What's really interesting here is that I've actually copied and pasted them in here. Now that's going to be useful because it will remind me to do them, to type them. I'm not doing them today, maybe I'll do them next week or next month if this is a really long piece of coursework you're doing, but having put them into my document will remind me not to forget them. You can format them as sub-chapters. They don't look different enough, so maybe I'm going to put them in italic like that, just to make me make people realize that these are actually sub-chapters. You don't have to make it so explicit, but make sure that you do have a paragraph where you're going to talk about the design criteria inside your plan. You can then, that could lead straight into the success criteria. What are they going to, how will you decide that your project is successful? Put that into your plan. I then told you in previous screencast that it is a good idea to use any form of diagram you've been shown or any form of diagram you know applied to the work you're doing, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, and usually examiners and teachers like to see different ways to present your ideas. You know you will have to write, but if you can also present your ideas in diagram, then do it. If it's an IT project, maybe a video or a Photoshop project, then you're more likely to put a mind map and a mood board, less likely to put a flowchart and a class diagram. That's more for computer science. But in any case, you will have to write detailed explanation for every key element of your project. Anything you know has got to be included in your project. Give them a separate paragraph at least, or maybe sub-chapter. Next, you move on to your creating, and then that's why you put loads of print screens. And again, don't hesitate to create some extra sub-chapters to highlight the difference between I mean, in the case of my year 11 students, definitely one sub-chapter for your world objects, and then one sub-chapter for each different actor object that you're creating. When you're doing your test, for my older students, you've got to create your own test table. So again, separate sub-chapter, don't hesitate, and then over here you explain how and why you created it that way. This is evidence of high-level thinking. Make sure you put it in writing so as to get your point before finally running the test. So mix that in italic as well. And then in your final evaluation, yes, don't forget to compare with the success criteria and to put some suggestion for further improvement. It's true that it's unusual in a final evaluation to see sub-chapters, but that doesn't mean you can't do it, especially to make sure you're not forgetting any of the key elements of your coursework, even if you're typing them weeks later than starting the project. And in the space of less than 5 minutes, I now have a frame that will guide me through typing my coursework. It doesn't really matter if I start with a mind map before committing in writing my thoughts on the design criteria, because this is here, so I know I will not forget it. I hope you found this useful, and I look forward to reading your coursework.